If you have ever heard traders talk about order flow, this is the tool they actually mean. A footprint chart, and by the end of this video, you will be able to read one. A normal candle only tells you four things: the open, the high, the low, and the close. It hides the most important part: who was actually buying and selling on the way there. A footprint chart opens that candle up. It shows you the exact volume that traded at every single price inside it, split into aggressive buying and aggressive selling. That is order flow. And the standard footprint chart in Noroview is completely free. Let's break it down piece by piece. First, how to get here. This is Solana against the dollar, live on Kraken. Up in the top bar, my candles are set to range at 10 points per candle. Range candles only close after price has actually traveled a set distance, so they filter out the quiet chop and give the footprint something worth reading. Then the chart type is set to footprint. That is the whole setup. 2 menus. Now the thing that trips absolutely everybody up on their very first try. At normal zoom, those cells are far too small to read, and double-clicking to reset will not fix it. The trick is to drag the time axis along the bottom to the right. Watch what happens. The candles spread out, and suddenly every number is legible. Remember that gesture. It is the single most useful move in footprint charting. Okay, let's read one candle properly. Each candle is a stack of price rows, and every row carries two numbers. On the left, in red, the volume that was aggressively sold at that price. On the right, in green, the volume that was aggressively bought at that price. Aggressively sold means a seller hit the bid. Aggressively bought means a buyer lifted the offer. Those are the traders who want it in right now at market, and they are the ones who move price. So on this row, sellers push this hard, and buyers push this hard. That is the entire language of a footprint. Two numbers, one price, one moment in time. When one side dwarfs the other, you know exactly who was in control at that exact level. Now scan down the rows, and you can watch the fight move as price traveled through the candle. And up at the top, Noroview is already totaling it for you. Total volume, buy volume, and sell volume for the whole candle. No candlestick chart on earth can show you that. Now, the single most important level on any footprint, the point of control, or POC. It is simply the price row with the most volume traded inside that candle. Noroview draws it for you as this bright line running across the candle. Think of the POC as the fairest price of that candle, the level where buyers and sellers most agreed to do business. And that matters because markets get drawn back to where business actually got done. Price returns to a heavy POC again and again, and it very often acts as support or resistance. You can see it right here. This level got hit hard, and price keeps coming back to it. Once you start marking POCs, an enormous amount of price behavior stops looking random. Wrapped around the POC, you can see this shaded blue band. That is the value area. It is the price range holding the bulk of that candle's volume, roughly 70% of it. Everything inside the band is where the market agreed value was. Everything outside it is where price went, but did not do much business. That gives you two genuinely useful edges. First, the edges of the value area behave like soft walls. Price often reacts when it reaches them. Second, a push outside the value area that then holds is telling you something has changed. And you can tune all of this yourself. In footprint settings, under value area, you can switch it on or off, change the percentage it covers, and change its color and opacity. POC plus value area gives you a clean, volume-based map of a candle. No indicators required. Here's my favorite one. In the same settings panel, turn on naked POC. When price trades away from a heavy POC and never comes back to touch it, that level is called a naked POC. Unfinished business, and markets have a very strong habit of coming back to finish it. Let me zoom out so you can see them properly. There they are. Every one of those dotted lines is a POC that price left behind. Noroview projects them forward automatically, so you get a set of magnet levels for free. I use them two ways: as places to expect a reaction and as realistic targets for a move. These are high-quality levels that the order flow drew for me, not levels I guessed at. Last piece, and this is the part most people never find. You can turn a footprint into your own custom order flow dashboard. Open footprint settings, Go to Inputs and choose Metrics. This is the metrics editor, and it stacks readouts above and below every single candle. Right now, I am showing total volume, buy volume, and sell volume. That is the block at the top. Let me add one more, delta volume. Delta is simply buying minus selling. And there it is, printing on every candle. Look down the list, and you will see there are 20 of these in total. They come in families: volume, trade counts, average trade size, average volume per block, and absorption. Each one with a total, a buy, a sell, and a delta. I am not going to read all 20 at you, and you should not switch all 20 on. Pick the 2 or 3 you genuinely trade from, drag them into the order you want, and color them. Start with delta and total volume. That is how professionals tune a footprint to their own eye. So that is a footprint chart. 2 numbers per price row. Red for aggressive selling, green for aggressive buying. The POC as the fairest price of the candle. The value area around it, showing where the business actually happened. Naked POCs left behind as magnet levels. And a metrics readout you can shape into your own dashboard. All of that is free in your browser on a live market right now. Open one up and read a few candles out loud. It clicks much faster than you would think. The full footprint walkthrough is linked below. Subscribe for a new order flow tool every single week, and I will see you in the next one.